Hello, my name is Geoffroy Bruyère. I am one of the two co-founders of Bonne Gueule, which is today both a media and a digital fashion brand for men. Everybody started in 2007. My co-founder Benoît Vostaka and I, we hardly had any advice for fashion on the internet. We didn't know how to learn it. So we simply decided to create our own blog and to share with the internet users all the piece of information we gathered from interviewing founders of brands, agents, people in the PR industry, and also people in the factories. And all this piece of information we learned, we shared it with the users, and time after time, we see that a community was appearing and becoming bigger and bigger. Today, it's the biggest community for men's fashion in Europe with 5 million users every year. When we started, it was just a hobby, just a blog, but slowly people started to ask us to do our own piece of clothing and to do more than just publishing articles. So in 2012, we decided to create our own brand, but we hardly had any experience in making clothes. So we went to the designers we knew and we asked them if we could do some co-branding. It means them producing the clothes and us doing the communication and the distribution. This way, we had finally our own clothes. We launched them on the internet, and the success was here right in the beginning. We launched 1,050 pieces of denim. In less than 1 hour, everything was sold. So we continued to do this business of collaboration, of co-branding, and it worked well, but it wasn't enough for us because we really wanted to do 100% our own fashion brand. So we started to look for somebody who knew how to make them, and we employed a guy named Alexandre. He went to the workshops, and we launched our first 3 pieces of clothing, 1 shirt, 1 Japanese denim, and 1 t-shirt. We continued to develop with physical boutiques. The people really like to buy the clothes in e-commerce because there was so much content. They were able to ask every question they had concerning the pieces, their history, how they were made, where they came from, who did the fabric. But when you sell high-end fashion, people also need to touch, they need to feel, they need to experience. And you cannot do it solely with a website. So a bit by accident, we started our own boutique, first opening our office to the users. And then because we saw that the office made 20,000 euros per month, we told ourselves that we didn't have any choice than opening our own real boutique in Le Marais in France. We are what people call a DNVB. It's a digital native vertical brand because we're born in the digital, but we also use the advantages of the physical world with a boutique. We are vertical, which means that we do everything from producing the clothes, doing the marketing, doing the communication, and doing the distribution. And we are also a media. This is very important because although it's not in the playbook of digital native vertical brands, it helps us not to be over-dependent towards the GAFAs, because in everyday world, the acquisition cost is a bit like the new rent. Yesterday, the brands had to pay rents for the boutiques, and now the acquisition costs when you do digital advertising, they are very costly. So when you are your own media, people spontaneously come to you, and you don't have to pay Facebook or Twitter or Google to bring you traffic. And to our point of view, this is very independent to stay both unbiased and independent in the future. We have a very loyal community because from the start, we didn't take anything for granted with them. We think from the beginning that we have to deserve their trust. And to deserve it, it's about speaking the truth. From the beginning, we never took any euros from other brands or other platforms to tell them special things about the quality of clothes of specific brands. We have always been very unbiased. The second thing is that we're also very transparent concerning our own brand. We answer every question. There's never any question that we delete or let without answer. It can be questions about where we make our clothes, how we make the fabrics. Sometimes when somebody spots a problem of conception of quality on our own line, we publicly excuse ourselves and expose the solutions that we put to solve the problem. And sometimes very crazy questions like how much do you make as a founder? I also sometimes answer to these questions, or who are your investors? These are questions usually brands don't like to answer, but to our point of view, it's really important to create this trust in the long term in the world of internet. When we created our own stores, we wanted them to be really into our DNA. And our DNA is to do everything we can to help the user or the visitor. It's about transparency, and it's about discovering the fashion differently. Fashion that are not only a matter of public appearance, but also a matter of men and women who make them in the factories, a matter of ecology, a matter of social movements. Everything, we encapsulated it in our stores. So, for example, when you come to us, you can ask all the questions you want on every cloth, and you will always have very specific answers concerning their histories, because our salesmen, they are not salesmen, they are people who are passionate about clothes and who don't get any more money when they sell more clothes. They only get more money on their salary when people go out of the boutique being happy. You can also, for example, book 1 hour, one-to-one moment with us. You will be able to bring your own clothes from every brand you want, to ask advice. For example, did you buy previously the right size? How can you match your clothes from other brands to the other one you have, or the ones you just bought in our boutiques? It's really about discovering the clothes and never also being too exclusive. We want to be inclusive. We want to speak about all the brands and all the other things that we think are nice, and not only about ourselves.